Ang bahaging ito ay hatid sa inyo ng PCSO, hindi umuurong sa pagtulong.
Moving forward kami sa Sulong na Bayan. Ang inyong paboritong public service program ay susulong na naman. Maririnig kami sa bagong time slot na alas 5 hanggang alas 6 ng gabi, Lunes hanggang Biyernes. Sa prime time slot na ito, higit na maraming listeners at viewers ang aabuti ng aming iba't ibang segments tulad ng Gospel Verse a Day, balita sa special sectors tulad ng OFW, senior citizens, Chinoy community at iba pang makabuluhang sektor. Makakasama ang veteran journalist na si Loli Acosta. Mabuhay! Sulong na Bayan!
Mapagpalang hapon po sa ating mga tagapakinig. Welcome po sa ating programang Sulong na Bayan. At tayo po ay napapakinggan at napapanood sa iba't pang panig ng mundo. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening as the case may be. Lalong-lalo po sa ating mga kababayan dyan sa Estados Unidos, United States, at syempre sa mga neighboring countries. Saan-saan naman po yan. Sa Down Under, sa Australia, hello, mate. At syempre sa Malaysia, Indonesia, Thailand, Singapore, Hong Kong, Myanmar, Papua New Guinea, at malakas din daw po tayo sa Macau. At syempre dito po sa ating bansa, Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao, lalong-lalo po sa ating mga kapatirang Muslim. Assalamu alaikum. Today, we're so honored to have our guest, a special guest, no less than the ambassador, actually His Excellency Malaysian ambassador to the Philippines. I'll have to dive in right away because I have a lot of questionnaires here to ask him because we're so interested what he will say about all of this. So let's welcome to our program Sulong na Bayan, our actually special guest. He's a dear friend, no less than Ambassador, His Excellency Ambassador Abdul Malik Melvin Castellino. Hello, sir. Assalamu alaikum.
Magandang hapon sa inyong lahat. And of course,
Magandang hapon. You know how to speak Tagalog.
I'm trying to learn. And of course, to our wonderful listeners there today, it's a real honor to be here, and I'm happy that I'll be able to share with you some of the points of our relationship between Malaysia and Philippines with you today. Now, of course, with the wonderful listeners who are either listening or watching this show. Well, just to say that that we are celebrating 60 years of Malaysia-Philippine relations this year, and it's been a wonderful year. Obviously, that our establishment, our relations started in 18 May 1964, and of course we started with a consulate. Now we have gone into a full embassy in 1966. Of course, our relationship has been anchored on this position of mutual respect, shared values, and of course a common vision for prosperous and peaceful Southeast Asia. And I must say that this year, of course, is significant because we are celebrating 60th year of Malaysia-Philippine relations. And areas that we are concentrating on involves trade, investment, education, culture, and defense. And of course, we in Philippines and Malaysia have been working quite closely in many areas, especially in regional multilateral fronts, including ASEAN and United Nations. And this year, I'm happy to say that these relations have continued to flourish in a very really strong way. We had the visit of the Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dato' Sri Anwar Ibrahim, to Philippines last year in March, and this was followed by the visit of His Excellency President Marcos to Malaysia in July, and I think this clearly cemented this strong relationship. And during that two meetings they had, they have agreed on several key areas. Number one, of course, is to strengthen relations, especially in the area of trade investment. Number two, looking at how the halal sector can play a more important role in this development. And number three, also we were looking at working on trying to see how we can work in developing a more socially economic developed Mindanao, which is close to Malaysia, of course. And this has spurred continuous focus on many areas. In trade investment, for instance, we are looking to halal, as I said.
Yes.
We are looking into renewables. We are looking into agro-business, energy, for infrastructure development. So I think all this spells good for the country. I'm very confident that this momentum will continue to be carried in the next for many years to come.
Many years to come.
Many years to come.
Yes, we're looking forward to that, Mr. Ambassador. Okay, give us a short history of Malaysia-Philippine diplomatic relations. When did it start?
Well, it started again, like I mentioned earlier, in 18 May 1964.
Okay.
And of course, we started with a consulate and then we got upgraded to a full embassy in 1966. And if you say now we have also a consul general who
Consul
is
Gen.
based in Davao.
Okay.
And that has, of course, helped us to expand, this relationship beyond Luzon, Visayas, and now to Mindanao. And of course, and this is important for us, because we share, like say, many close shared values, and of course, this symbiosis between the nations. Being part of ASEAN, of course, being part of this global nation, that is working towards development.
Okay. Can you say, or what are the strengths of this relationship that you just mentioned that needs to be acknowledged?
I think number one would be, after being a year and a half in Philippines, I came in March.
1 year and a half
1.5
only.
years. I think the most, for me, personally, if you ask me, is people-to-people relationship.
People to people.
I think it's important to realize that, because we share
A lot
many
of
strong traits, similarities, food culture, and this has created this close bond between the two
Bonding.
people. And of course, we have, a large number of Filipinos who are working in Malaysia. Of course, this is because of they've developed it. Of course, they helped Malaysia to develop by their services, and we want to thank them for that.
Okay,
And of
thank
course,
you.
in Philippines, you have many Malaysians that are involved in business, in education, in many areas. So I think this bond between these two communities
It's grown strong.
is the one I believe is the cement of the whole thing. And of course, then you have a strong leadership that both countries are committed, both bilaterally and of course in the spirit of ASEAN to continue to push relations. I think that's something that is also has to be acknowledged. And of course, the peace and development that we are experiencing now has further, spurred, a lot of connection in trade investment in many other areas. So I think this is something that we need to continue to work on.
Right.
And see
Keep
how we can push
working.
it to the next level.
Right. If there are if there are strengths that you just mentioned, what are the weaknesses, if there is any, that needs to be addressed?
If you ask me, I think it's awareness.
Awareness.
I think there needs to
Okay, I
be
agree.
a greater, although we are part of the same bloc, which is the ASEAN nation and of course the Malay
Association,
Archipelago.
so yes.
I think the awareness of needs to be. I mean, it is there.
Educate.
It is good, but I think we need to further enhance it.
Intensify, perhaps.
Intensify it, I think, and that is where the role of the embassies. Yeah, of course, I'm not only speaking for an embassy, Malaysian embassy in the Philippines, but of course, the Philippine embassy in Malaysia is also doing a
too.
great job.
Who is our ambassador there?
Angela Ponce.
Okay.
Angela Ponce, and of course, the embassy before that, Charles Jose. They have worked.
Charles Jose is a very
Very
good,
good friend.
yeah.
Yes, yes,
He was
mine
here.
too, yeah. We play golf together.
Oh, you do?
Of course, on Saturday and Sunday.
Okay, not on a working day.
Yeah.
He was here, seated right there.
Was he?
when-
Was he? Yeah.
he
So
was
he's
one
a
of
very
my-
good man. He and Angela has been working very hard, and I have
And
to
the
say
wife.
that under their two
Charles.
leadership, things have really flourished. And of course, we have been working hard. My team. I must again here acknowledge my team.
But you were not the
Some of
ambassador
the-
here yet when Charles Jose was our Philippine
No,
ambassador.
I was based in Italy at that point in time.
Oh,
Yeah, I was
okay.
in Italy. So I must acknowledge my team. Some of them are here today.
Yes,
They've
we
been
will
working hard
acknowledge
in
them.
terms of developing relationship, and I also attribute to them to this. So of
It's a
course,
team effort.
team effort.
You can't do it alone.
Yeah, it's true. And at the political level, of course, we had recently the visit by the Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia, Dr. Sri Zaid Hamidi, who actually met the President, and he met many of the dignitaries here. He was here for the Conference on Disaster Risk Management,
Right.
organized by DNI Secretary Tony, Secretary Tony, and of course Secretary Teodoro of Defense. And I think during that meeting, when he met the President, he did.
Yeah.
bid-
Are you at liberty to say something
Yes,
about
I
what
think
they
both
did?
leaders, of course,
Okay.
acknowledge the fact that we are close, we're strong in our relationship, and one of the key areas we touched on how to further develop. And I think one area would be,
What?
of course, they discussed halal and how halal can play an important role in this. And I think both of course, Malaysia is ready to support, the Deputy Prime Minister said. And secondly, of course, the idea of TVET and capacity building. And I think that's, and I must say that the President has a clear vision in terms of what Philippines should be heading to, and the idea that
Direction.
education on TVET especially needs to be further enhanced. And I think Malaysia has gone quite far ahead in that area, and we are offering our support and our
that's
expertise. Of
great
course, you
to
want to learn
hear.
from Philippines too, because there's a lot.
What have you learned
No, yeah,
in your 1.5 years here?
No, I think I'm very impressed with the way how
How?
TVET, TESTA is
TVET,
running
yeah.
under TESTA. We have met
It's
the
training
secretary of
skills.
TESTA, the late secretary Boy. I think. So and we have worked out some arrangement how we can do
niches.
benchmarking and learn from each other.
Yeah.
I must say the TESTA scheme that you have here is across the board. But I think it has been intensified. I think that's where the secretary of TESA is working on. I'm very appreciative.
Do you have that kind of a thing in Malaysia?
We do,
Training
but-
of skills?
We do, but ours is, of course, the Deputy Prime Minister heads the task force, but ours is decentralized to the various departments, or secretaries, as you call it. Each one of them has their own ministries, have their own, own team that does all division that does training and development. A lot
Programs.
of funds is being spent on Tibet because we also
You believe that, huh?
Yes, because I think it has to be able to keep up with the industries. The industries develop.
Yes.
I think it's important that the skills is matched with the needs of the industry. And this is where TVET, TESTA
Yeah.
and TVET in Malaysia, TVET can come in.
The skills
Between
is
the
matching.
next level of practitioners. As you know, countries like us, we are developing, so we need to have a strong workforce that is ready, capable, and professional and efficient. No? And we have to make sure that it keeps up with the needs of industry. And of course, things are changing, as you know.
It's
In many
evolving.
Yes, you have
Yeah.
of
The
course
technology and all.
digitalization, AI. So I think our new workforce or young workforce need to be trained,
Right.
for him to be able
I
to
agree.
to develop.
Additional learnings. Okay, let me just acknowledge your staff who is here
Yes,
right
yes.
now. Mr. Amal M. Asarani of the embassy. Minister Amal M. Asarani, of course. Miss Trade Commissioner Intan Salani, and another Rohana Binti Dahalan. He's the Deputy Director of Tourism Malaysia Manila. That's why we are a lot of Filipinos go to your country,
I'm
and
happy
we
to
love
see.
your country. And did you see my pictures? I was there in Petronas.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you for visiting Malaysia.
Who was there?
No, since you've touched on tourism, I think it's
Yes.
important knowledge. I think there's a clear, I would say, opportunity
Opportunities.
for tourism.
Why?
As
What
you
is it?
know, Yeah, as you know, recently we've launched. Of course, in Malaysia, the halal tourism is something that is industry that has been growing and exponentially, and this has really created a revenue base for us. In Philippines is starting, and then I must commend the Secretary of Tourism,
Miss Franco.
Frasco, yes, in order and pushing for this halal friendly Philippines. And so, what we have been getting a
just
lot of interest of tourism, halal tourism from Philippines to Malaysia, especially from Mindanao, and I think that's very good because we are benefiting from it. And I think Philippines also can also benefit. So the Halal Friendly Philippines launched by Secretary Frasco and the team, and of course under USEC Myra of the DOT, has been very successful. Recently they launched this Muslim friendly shores in Boracay by the mayor of Boracay. And I think
Mayor.
it's the first in many parts of the world, and I think is poised to develop, and I think you have a strong fundamental base for it. You have a large Muslim population, around 12 million. I think that will further support. And of course, you have a big market.
Big
You look at-
market.
If you look
Yeah,
at
exponential.
GCC and all the countries wanting to come down, and we are benefiting from it.
Right.
So I think both Malaysia and Philippines
Philippines.
can work together in order to develop this industry for the benefit of both countries.
Both
because,
countries.
Because the tourists that come to Philippines can also visit Malaysia at the same time. We can have joint tours, that can work for both countries. And
Collaborate and
collaboration.
then work on it.
The exciting thing is it develops also the SMEs,
Right, small,
Because
medium. That's
in
the
space,
power.
That's the power of the Malaysia almost
Also.
90% is SMEs.
Are small.
Of course, the varying degrees of sizes, and so is Philippines. I think we can use that as
We're
a
getting there.
You're getting there, trying to create these joint ventures between the small between these SMEs. I
We
think
can learn
it's
from
very-
you.
Yes, of course. I would love.
The
We are
SMEs.
working on trying to
Partners with
develop
trade.
this. In fact, under the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, we have this thing called
MFA.
Malaysian Technical Cooperation Program.
Okay.
We've done quite
What
a
is
lot
it?
It's basically a technical cooperation program where we invite officials and, of course, practitioners from Philippines who come to Malaysia, actually from all over the world, where we give them training in certain areas, capacity building, so they can come back to the country and use it to develop.
Use it here.
You have worked quite a lot on halal recently.
Right. You talk about halal. Mr. Ambassador, we really want you to educate our listeners, our viewers, because there's misnomer somewhere. They keep saying, if you hear about halal, it's about food business all the time. Is that true?
Well,
How
that's
do-
the
how
thing.
do you
Interesting
explain?
thing, halal goes, this industry goes beyond F&B.
Okay, what is
You
it
have
then?
Fashion, you have pharmaceuticals, you have also logistics. So many areas that is part and parcel.
Practically
of halal.
all.
Yes, because you have to create a value chain, social value chain. And I think this ecosystem gives a lot of potential for any types of businesses from every level. For instance, you are doing poultry, right? You need to have the feed. You need to
Fees,
have the,
food.
the hatching. Everything has to be halal. And then you have to support it with the logistic chain,
Okay.
So this gives you new areas of new industries that can develop from it, especially the SMEs.
And that's good news because we will create millions of jobs, perhaps,
Precisely.
not just thousands.
And I think for Malaysia, we started with the low-hanging fruits.
Low-hanging
F&B
fruit.
first, food and
Okay.
beverage. And then we moved on to pharmaceuticals, fashion.
Yeah.
And of course,
and
now we're
also
going
the
to...
salon,
That's
anything on beauty,
Cosmetics,
farm,
you know.
cosmetics.
Yeah, and it's wine. It's really wine.
Also.
And I think we started at F&B and then we moved on. I think Philippines can do the same.
Can do the same.
Start from F&B and then you move on to the rest, And of course, you have the raw materials, you have the workforce. You just have to be retrained and develop capacities. And I think we benefited from that, from halal, and I want to see how we can support Philippines in that score.
So that's good news, guys. The businessmen, look, watching and viewing us, the small and medium entrepreneurs, this is the way to do it.
Yeah.
The multi-trillion-dollar business is already here.
And I have to note that, the DTI and the
Yes,
the
Department of
and
Trade.
course, they now have a dedicated team headed by, Alim Gupal.
Yeah, Alim Gipal, he was always here.
Who I say, under DTI, and they have now formulated, of course,
For
the
halal.
long-term 24-28 master plan for halal for
Okay,
Philippines. I think they're already working on creating this awareness. And I think what is important for us to realize is halal is for all. It's
For
not
everyone.
For everyone.
Regardless, let me ask Mr. Ambassador, His Excellency, it's not just for Muslim nationals,
No, it's
right?
for-
It's
in-
for everyone.
Yeah, in Malaysia, we are multiracial,
Okay.
multi-religious country. We have
Okay.
Malays, the Chinese, the Indians, the Kalazan, the Dusuns, and they all can enjoy halal food.
Yeah.
And so it opens up a huge market. If you're looking at 32, million Malaysians, we don't. Of course, there are Muslims and
Different
Indians and
nationalities.
Hindus, but then they all can enjoy the food because it's done. Of course,
Certified.
there are some restrictions here and there on the type of food, but by and large, everyone can enjoy halal food. So it's not meant only for Muslims, and this is something I want to emphasize.
Yes,
to,
this is-
for listeners.
take note of that,
for
listeners,
everybody.
viewers.
So if, let's say you're looking at a market of, let's say you have 12 million Muslims in Philippines, but your market is not 12 million,
Not
it's
just
120
12.
million.
Right,
Because
that's our
it can-
population, 120.
Everyone can enjoy it because it doesn't have to be only meant for the Muslims. So it's halal for all. I think that's the key
Even-
that we need to understand, and to create awareness among all the Filipinos that it's a huge opportunity.
Hospitals, like healthcare,
Okay, of course.
everything, because healthcare is really what we really.
Precisely. And everyone can go and enjoy it because basically I say it's for all. And and
Why was it just now?
no, I think
I
it's-
haven't heard it from like ages ago.
This one I must commend, of course, the leadership in this because when they
Okay.
met for the first time last year, we were looking at areas that we can develop on. I think both the Prime Minister, the Honourable Dr. Sri.
So whose brains was this to really
I
get
think
it out there?
I must commend both leaders on this
Both,
one because
okay.
they had a vision to push this industry forward, and I think from that it started snowballing. And of course, I also must emphasize that the foreign ministers of both countries.
Okay, the foreign ministers.
Secretary Mohan Hassan, who was here
Also.
in July this year, and of course Secretary Manolo also played a big role because I think without them leading the push together with of course DTI, the main player in this,
Trade.
and of course our Ministry of Trade in Malaysia, Secretary Roque here, of course they had this of course to push this industry forward. And I think
Business.
that's very important. The leadership
Did our
is very important.
president at least breathe the word to you about it when
Yes,
you
I
guys
mean,
met?
In fact, when Dr. Sri, when they spoke with the Prime
to them.
Minister, with the Prime Minister of last year, this was
Okay.
brought up. And again, recently, when the Deputy Prime Minister came, and again, the concept of halal was clearly articulated. And I think this is something that that we want to continue to work for. We have this organization called Halal Development Corporation in Malaysia and JAKIM.
Okay. Oh,
So these are the two. One is on certification. The other is, of course,
Okay.
on development of the industry itself. And I think they're working closely with Philippines authorities in order to do
So it's like Alim Gipal's
Yeah.
area of field
Expertise.
expertise.
So I think it's
DTI
I think
here
so.
and then Jakim there.
And of course, it also touches on tourism. In terms of halal
Okay,
tourism,
yes,
So it's
absolutely.
the team. So I think it all ties in nicely, and it opens up new opportunities. And of course, like this year, like I mentioned, we celebrated 60 years
60th
anniversary, and one of the
What's the milestone?
areas we were looking at, of course, has been we did besides trade industry, we also look in many other things. Number one, of course, is the culture.
Culture.
So
I was
we
about to ask
had
that.
a cross-cultural art program called Siniskwela in one of the schools.
Eskwela, you're right. That's
in
cool.
Tinajeros National High School in Malabon City.
Malabon.
Of course, I want to thank the Mayor of Malabon for
Thank
for
you,
that. In
Mayor.
collaboration with Tourism Malaysia, Art Diago, Asia founding artist, and Ana Karina Jadin, who's a Filipino, who's based in Malaysia.
Right.
And of course, the Department of Education, the schools division. So it was a very good in February this year, where the children were be able to expose to what is the different
Culture.
cultures that we have,
Right.
and that is good because it gives this awareness I was talking
Awareness
about earlier,
again,
of understanding
right.
about countries.
And you wouldn't believe it, the logo, the one who designed it, the logo is a Filipino, you
Yes,
mentioned.
yes. We had,
That's
of course,
a
we opened up to
Philippine
everyone,
designer.
and the one we chose was a Filipino artist, a young
Right.
budding artist, and of course he this is
Hi,
good for us because
Villamata.
it builds the
Boosts
Next
his morale,
year,
and then
morale,
next year everybody can compete again and join perhaps for another logo contest.
And then another thing we did was on this an art expo,
Art
in
expo.
30th August this year. Of course, we brought in 5 Malaysian talented artists and of course 5 Filipino artists, and it was done in One Isla. Again, thank you, One Isla, of course, for supporting us. And one of the key highlights of that expo was that there was a joint art piece by Dennis Bato and Chabandi, a Malaysian
Chabandi,
artist.
okay.
Dennis Bato is a Philippine artist, so I think it showcased how both
Yeah,
cultures
both-
can come together. It's
right.
amazing.
Fusion
I was
of-
very impressed
yeah,
with
I'm
that,
sure it's a hit.
It was a hit. It was a hit, and we
Right.
hope to do a bigger one next year, inshallah. And of course, we have a yearly huge golf tournament. I don't know if you're a fan of golf.
Okay.
Philippines has
Golf.
amazing
My
golf
brother.
courses. I must say, it's one of the key industries that I think Philippines can benefit from. And so we did it. We have this.
Where?
This year we organized it in Papanga. In
Clark.
Pereira. It was
Successful.
called Maybank Philippines.
Okay, the bank.
Maybank.
Malaysian bank, right?
Malaysian Bank, Maybank
Maybank.
Malaysian Friendship Cup. We had
Okay.
almost
Wow.
216 players.
Oh my gosh,
And-
that's a huge
And we had some secretaries,
Maybank
mayors,
golf
government
tournament.
officials, key business people, and of course, Filipino community and also Malaysian community, and of course, the other international community. So again, it solidified
huge.
international relationship,
Cement.
especially between Malaysia and
Right,
Philippines.
right. I remember, if I may say this, when I interviewed the good chief minister, the CM, chief minister of Bangsamoro Autonomous Region,
Yes.
Muslim Mindanao, one of his MPs, minister of transportation, Mr. Tago, he was like saying, oh, the airport, after the airport we build this, because they are building the airport in Awang, where Cotabato, the seat of
That's right,
powers.
that's right.
We will build golf area.
Yeah, I
because
think-
that's a source of revenue.
That's
Just like you mentioned.
Yeah, I think again,
Golf
like I
areas.
said, the connectivity in Philippines is something that needs to be worked on. It is growing now,
Yes.
and I think the connectivity will help to develop, this the industries in all sectors, because for instance, tourism, you need connectivity. The moment you reach the Philippines, you need to connect. And I think this also serves the same for Malaysia.
Right.
So what you're trying to do is trying to find more connectivity between both countries.
Right.
We are working with Air Asia and of course Philippine Airlines and of course Malaysian Airlines
In Air Asia.
In Air Asia. In
Tony
trying to
Fernandez.
increase flights between both
Yes,
countries.
has to have.
Especially between Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur, and
KL.
Mindanao, and of course from.
We have a new airport in Tawi-Tawi.
That's right.
So
I think this will help to boost
flights.
to have tourists from Philippines coming to Malaysia and Malaysia Philippines to further develop the industry.
Right. So when we come back, Mr. Ambassador, I have to pause for a break. We will ask you again, as ASEAN brothers, perhaps during your time, can we also explore further cultural exchanges in visual arts or even culinary? But don't answer yet. When we come back and when we return, he will answer all this. The Philippine Standard Time is 5:26 in the afternoon.
Oras, hatid sa inyo ng PAGCOR.
That time check was brought to you by MX3.
MX3 capsule helps avoid pain discomfort. Iwas-iwas sa sakit.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Ang bahaging ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng PCSO. Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong.
Sun make light so bright with my friends. Show off my light in the club or in the sun. Sun make light, let's have fun. Da 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 da. Show your light, your sun make light anytime, anywhere. Like dito, like doon. Sun make light, show your light, yeah. Anong light, lightless worries kasi low calorie. Like dito, like doon. Sun make light.
I keep coming back to the light life.
Drink responsibly. Panatilihing masaya ang paglilibang. Magtakda na oras at limitahan ang gastos sa paglalaro. Huwag magsugal kung nalulungkot. Huwag hayaang makasira ng buhay at pamilya. Para sa impormasyon ukol sa responsible gaming, tumawag lamang sa hotline number 02-8404-0171 o bisitahin ang www.casinofilipino.ph. Isang mensahe mula sa PAGCOR. Gambling is for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
Adik ka na ba sa sugal? Lagi ka bang nakakaramdam na matinding udyok na magsugal? Laging gigil na makabawi sa pagkatalo? Naglalaan ka ba ng mas malaking oras at salapi para sa sugal sa halip na para sa pamilya? Nababaon ka na ba sa utang at nagbebenta ng mga ari-arian dahil sa pagsusugal? Kung kailangan mo ng tulong o maging ang isang mahal mo sa buhay, may mga programa ang Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation o PAGCOR tulad ng Player Exclusion Program at iba pa. Para sa dagdag na detalye at impormasyon tungkol sa problem gambling, mag-log on sa www.pagcor.ph/regulatory/responsible.ph. Isang paalala mula sa PAGCOR. Game safely, game responsibly.
Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong, kawang gawa sa lahat sinusulong. PCSO, PCSO. Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong ang PCSO. PCSO.
Minsan sabaw na feeling. Call someone sweet and refreshing. Life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer. Oh, let's bang araw at ang feeling ay sad. We don't like that. With your friends you can refresh, so enjoy lahat. We all like that.
Maria's here. Make life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer. Enjoy the flavors of apple, lemon, and lychee with just the right beer buzz.
Life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer.
Drink responsibly.
Papalakas ng papalakas, palinaw ng palinaw, mga balita at impormasyong naiintindihan dahil malinaw mong nalaman. Tutok lang sa DWIZ mula umaga hanggang gabi. Updated on air and online. DWIZ, nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama. Ang balitang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best. Latest, pinakabago at tama. DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
Narito ang tamang balita sa oras na to. Kuha tayo ng update sa bagyong Christine. Narito ang ating resident weather reporter na si Daryl Justin.
Maraming salamat, Gia. Magandang hapon, Pilipinas. Magbigay muna tayo ng latest weather update sa inilabas na weather bulletin o tropical cyclone bulletin ng Pag-asa ngayong alas 5 lamang ng hapon. Bahagyang lumakas si Tropical Storm Christine habang nasa Philippine Sea sa silangan po ng Bicol Region. Huli itong namataan sa layong 370 kilometro silangan ng Daet, Camarines Norte. Meron itong taglay na lakas ng hangin na umaabot na sa 75 kilometro kada oras malapit sa gitna at pagbugsong aabot naman sa 70 kilometro kada oras. Kasalukuyan itong kumikilos pakanluran hilagang kanluran sa bilis na 15 kilometro kada oras. Nakataas na ang Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 2 sa mga sumusunod na lugar. Catanduanes, ang silangang bahagi po ng Camarines Norte at Camarines Sur, kasama na rin ang silangang bahagi ng Albay, Sorsogon, hilagang silangang bahagi ng Northern Samar at ang hilagang bahagi po ng Eastern Samar. Habang nakataas naman ang Tropical Cyclone Wind Signal number 1 sa Ilocos Norte, Ilocos Sur, La Union, Pangasinan, Apayao, Kalinga, Abra, Mountain Province, Ifugao, Benguet, Cagayan Islands kasama na Cagayan, kasama ng Babuyan Islands, Isabela, Quirino, Nueva Vizcaya, Aurora, Nueva Ecija, Tarlac, Zambales, Bataan, Pampanga, Bulacan, ang Metro Manila, Cavite, Laguna, Batangas, Rizal, ang Quezon kasamang Polillo Islands, Masbate kasama ang Ticao Islands, Burias Island, Marinduque, Romblon, nalalabing bahagi po ng Camarines Norte, Camarines Sur, Albay, Sorsogon, Eastern Samar, Northern Samar, ang buong lalawigan ng Samar, Leyte, Biliran, Southern Leyte at ang Dinagat Island kasama ng Surigao del Norte at Siargao bukas Grande Group. Sa latest forecast track naman ng Pag-asa, inaasahan pa rin kikilos si Tropical Storm Christine pahilagang kanluran at ito pa rin po ay tatama sa kalupaan ng Isabela o Northern Aurora area bukas ng gabi o Huwebes ng madaling araw. Inaasahan ding tatawid ang bagyo sa kalupaan ng Hilagang Luzon hanggang makatawid sa baybayan ng Ilocos Region sa araw ng Huwebes, hapon po yan o gabi. Sa kasalukuyan, inaasahang lalabas ng Philippine Area of Responsibility si Bagyong Christine sa araw ng Biyernes. Naglabas din po ng panibagong heavy rainfall advisory, heavy rainfall warning ang Pag-asa ngayong alas 5 ng hapon kung saan nakataas na po ang yellow rainfall warning sa Quezon, Batangas at Laguna habang inaasahan ng mga kahalintulad na kondisyon sa Cavite, Rizal at Metro Manila sa susunod na 2 hanggang 3 oras. Manatili nakatutok sa DWIZ News TV at Aliw Channel 23 para sa mga latest updates sa nasabing bagyo. Ako po si Daryl Justin, nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
DWIZ Flash Report.
Sa kapapasok lamang na balita, nagpalabas ng temporary restraining order ang Korte Suprema laban sa resolusyon ng COMELEC para sa dismissed Cebu City Mayor Michael Rama at Mandaue City Mayor Jonas Cortez na nagdidiskwalipika sa mga ito sa pagtakbo sa 2025 elections dahil sa perpetual disqualification mula sa Ombudsman. Para sa karagdagang detalye, manatiling nakatutok sa DWIZ at Aliw Channel 23. At sa iba pang balita, PNP, DND, COMELEC at DILG magkakasama ng special meeting sa November 15. Detalye ng balita kay Patrol 13, Gilbert Perdez.
Magkakaroon ng special meeting ang mga kaukulang ahensya ng gobyerno gaya ng COMELEC, Department of National Defense, Philippine National Police at DILG sa darating na Nobyembre 15 ngayong taon. Itong iniulat ni DILG Secretary John Vic Rimulya kay Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr. sa ginanap na sectoral meeting sa Malacanang. Sa nasabing pagpupulong ayon kay Rimulya ay partikular na tatalakayin ang mga kaso ng karahasan na nagaganap sa bansa. Gayunman ipinunto naman ni Rimulya na ang mga nabanggit na kaso ay hindi pa naman kumpirmado kung election-related o may kaugnayan sa eleksyon. Patrol 13, Gilbert Perdes para sa impilang may todong lakas. DWIZ nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
Samantala, pagpatay kay dating Los Baños, Laguna Mayor Cesar Perez, itinanggi ng dating konsehal sa lalawigan. Detalye ng balita kay Patrol 30, Jelly Mendez.
Itinanggi ni dating Los Baños Laguna Councilor Norvin Tamisin ang akusasyon sa kanya na pumatay o siya ang pumatay kay dating Los Baños Laguna Mayor Cesar Perez na binaril sa Municipal Hall ng nabanggit na lalawigan noong December 3, 2020. Ito ang inihayag ng dating konsehal sa gitna na rin ng ikasyam na pagdinig ng Quad Committee na nag-iimbestiga sa isyu ng extrajudicial killings o tinigal na droga. Naluha si Tamisin na nangabalika ang mga alaala sa loob ng bilangguan kung saan ay 7 buwan itong nakakulong matapos madawit ang kanyang pangalan bilang gunman sa pagkasawi ni Mayor Perez. Ayon kay Tamisin, nagulat na lamang siya nang ilagay ang kanyang pangalan bilang mastermind sa pagpatay sa naturang alkalde. Nilinaw ng dating konsehal na aga dahilan ng kanyang paglayo sa lalawigan ay para iligtas at hindi madamay ang kanyang pamilya dahil alam na niya na itutumba siya at magiging case closed ang kanyang kaso sa ilalim ng War on Drugs campaign ng Duterte administration. Anya, naghanap lamang siya ng paraan at panahon kung kailan niya ipagtatanggol o may pagtatanggol ang kanyang sarili laban sa mga matataas na opisyal. Naniniwala si Tamisin na kung nailabas lang ng PNP Los Baños ang totoong video ng pagpatay kay Mayor Perez, hindi sana siya makukulong, hindi nasira ang kanyang pangalan, maging ang kanyang pamilya at hindi nabuli ang kanyang mga anak. Naniniwala si Tamisin na ang mga pulis ang nagtatanggol at nagpoprotekta sa taong bayan pero hindi niya ito naramdaman sa mga pulis kalawag. Iginit rin niya na hindi dapat idinadawit ang mga inosenteng tao para lang makakuha ng magandang posisyon. Dagdag pa ni Tamisin na sa 12 taon niyang nagsilbi sa taong bayan, hindi siya kailanman nagkaroon ng record o nabahira ng korupsyon at pang-aabuso ang kanyang pangalan bilang opisyal ng gobyerno. Binigyan din ni Tamisin na ang pagkakadawit ng kanyang pangalan ay nag-meet siya ng kanyang tutulan ang pamumutol ng puno sa kanilang lugar na nakasisira sa kalikasan. Dagdag pa niya na naghahain lamang siya ng kaso pero hindi siya mamamatay tao. Anyang karapatan ng mga taga-Los Baños at ng kanyang pamilya na malaman ang katotohanan. Ito si Patrol Tagatija Alameda sa Guula para sa hindi lang may todong lakas sa DWIZ. Nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
At yan ang mga tamang balita sa oras na ito. Mag-follow at subscribe sa lahat ng DWIZ News Digital Channels, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, X at DWIZ News App at DWIZ News websites. Ako po si Gia Rafael, nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama.
Oras-oras nagbabalita ng tama, naglilingkod ng tama. DWIZ News Catch Up. News Catch Up.
Ang balitang ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve only the best.
Ang bahaging ito ay hatid sa inyo ng PCSO, hindi umuurong sa pagtulong.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Alright, nagbabalik po muli ang ating programang Sulong na Bayan at syempre kasama pa rin po natin His Excellency, no less than our Malaysian Ambassador to the Philippines, Abdul Malik Melvin. I'll call him Abdul Melvin. Is that all right? Malik. Okay. All right. Our hanging question before we pause, we were asking him about our cultural relations. You mentioned that already, but as ASEAN brothers, perhaps during your time, we can also explore further cultural exchanges in visual arts perhaps, or even culinary.
Actually, we have done it recently.
Okay.
When I mentioned about culinary, we mentioned about culinary programs. In fact, merged the food of Philippines and Malaysia together. And that was very good because it showcased the different finer foods of both countries and how they're similar and of course different. Okay. And of course this brought about a greater understanding of the art of culinary. And we have discussed, of course, the idea of expanding it to include the other ASEAN countries here in Philippines. And of course we have an ASEAN ambassadors team here, and we're all excited to see how we can maybe explore it next year. As you know, Malaysia will be chairing the ASEAN
the host country
next
next
year.
year.
So we hope, in conjunction with that, we hope to do some activities in Philippines to showcase ASEAN and, of course, the ASEAN solidarity. We are looking at doing one very soon in Goldberg Mansion this year.
Okay, before the year is over.
Before year's over. Of course, Goldberg Mansion was launched by the First Lady, and of course, this is something that we are working on, and we hope to have a diplomatic occasion where we can showcase the food of both countries.
What's your favorite food here in our country?
If you ask me, I like itom, the traditional soup of what beef soup here, or coconut. I like chicken inisal, of course, which is my favorite. And recent, of course, chicken adobo is something I love. And fish sinigang.
Wow, you like that.
And I love your bibingka.
It's Christmas time. You see a lot of it now. Bibingka.
I travel quite a bit within Manila, thanks to Department of Tourism, the Philippine Experience Program.
Okay.
Which
the food and all.
Invited only me, of course, the other ambassadors, and we experienced different foods. And like we went to Palawan recently, we were in Zamboanga. DFA also has organized such events where they try to expose,
They say if you want to get close to somebody, bring her food.
Food is number one. Number two, of course, the beautiful landscapes. And happy to note that in Malaysia, we're also trying to develop this sense of greater awareness of culinary aspects between the ASEAN nations. I think that's crucial for us to really understand each other's food. And I think we can learn from it. At the same time, we can further develop how it can be useful to us as a way to creating a stronger people-to-people relationship.
There's so much to explore in terms of really cultural diplomacy.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts, Mr. Ambassador, and how does this help us in this fast-changing world?
I always believe that when you know your neighbor, you know your friends, you know your family, you tend to understand them more. Of course, you'll be able to work with that understanding to create a greater sense of peace and stability. Knowing somebody, loving somebody would be able for you to be able to grow peace and development. So I think that's crucial. You mentioned visual arts. I think that's another area we can look at. I've been, of course, in Malaysia. The visual arts industry is huge.
Yes,
and I've seen also in Philippines, how creative and amazing there is.
You wouldn't believe it that children as young as like 8, 6, 7, 8, animation. That's
of course,
overwhelming.
Touching on AI, I think that's crucial. I think we cannot run away from it now. In fact, in Malaysia, we're using AI, of course, in terms of trying to how we can fit into the tourism industry in terms of getting a better experience for the travelers. And of course, this is something I think we are working with. We hope to work with Philippines in terms of creating this greater collaboration in the field. The art world is an area where I think ASEAN can seriously look into how we can use it as a building block for ASEAN. I hope next year
we have good artists.
Yes, we have
painting, and you love that too.
I attend the Philippines art
exhibit.
Yeah, recently they have one every year here. It was amazing to see the different artists from Philippines, from different regions displaying the artwork, which is
Luzon, Visayas, Mindanao.
Cebu, for instance. And we have also Malaysian artists coming down now.
Also coming here.
Yeah. And I was telling, we were discussing about, trying to build these art hubs around the world. In Asia. I think Philippines is one of the areas which we can build this art hub. Malaysia has one, of course, we are working on it to create a bigger one. But we can work together and see how we can use, artists from both countries and of course the other ASEAN countries to build these art hubs around.
It's marvelous because when you think about how creative these artists are, you will like, wow, in awe. Yes. So we can work together for that.
And I think it's important also for one of the, when you were discussing with the artists, what could be important is for the private sector to play a bigger role in this. I know some of the major private sectors in Philippines and Malaysia are now sponsoring art projects. I think that's very important. Maybank, for instance.
They're very high up on this.
They're working on some of the
artists
some art programs to see how we can develop art as a part of building more developed society, which will help, of course, their business. And I have to say, like in Malaysia, we have quite a number of companies. I just want to mention a few
please.
that has been working with us on this. You have organizations such as
Malaysian
T-Life, we have MTD, we have, of course, Maybank, which is doing a great job, and of course the other Malaysian companies here that we hope that we'll be able to further solidify this relationship. Of course, I want to mention E.co, CIMB, Kasam, T-Life, Zeus Coffee, Old Town White Coffee, and of course, now we have some companies, new ones coming like Mama, and we hope Mary Brown will come in too.
Wow, that's a whole right.
And in Malaysia, you have Mr. Potato.
Mr. Potato Corner or
Potato
something.
Corner is very popular in Malaysia.
That's
now.
cool.
They've opened up quite a number of stores.
That's good to know.
We have, of course, the Jollibee chains are in Malaysia, are doing well. So I think this is also another area which we can
really look at.
For an F&B, of course.
Okay. Before we return, again, we have to pause for a quick break. We want to ask if there a need for a visa for Filipino tourists to go to your country. But don't answer it.
Okay.
We have to pause for a quick break. The Philippine Standard Time is 5:46 in the afternoon.
Oras hatid sa inyo ng Pagcor.
Oras hatid sa inyo ng Bingo Plus. Download Bingo Plus app now at Google Play or Apple App Store for a chance to win more than 75 million pesos jackpot prize. Visit Bingo Plus official website at bingoplus.com to learn more. With Bingo Plus, bingo sa saya plus sa panalo. Gaming for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Shine big light so bright with my friends. Show off my light in the club or in the sun. Shine big light, let's have fun. Da 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 da. Show your light, your sun big light anytime, anywhere. Like dito, like doon. Sun big light, show your light, yeah. I don't like less worries 'cause it low calories. Like dito, like doon. Sun big light.
I keep coming back to the light life. Getting to the light life, some big light.
Drink responsibly.
Panatilihing masaya ang paglilibang. Magtakda na oras at limitahan ang gastos sa paglalaro. Huwag magsugal kung nalulungkot. Huwag hayaang makasira ng buhay at pamilya. Para sa impormasyon ukol sa responsible gaming, tumawag lamang sa hotline number 02-8404-0171 o bisitahin ang www.casinofilipino.ph. Isang mensahe mula sa Pagcor. Gambling is for 21 years old and above only. Keep it fun. Game responsibly.
Adik ka na ba sa sugal? Lagi ka bang nakakaramdam na matinding udyok na magsugal? Laging gigil na makabawi sa pagkatalo? Naglalaan ka ba ng mas malaking oras at salapi para sa sugal sa halip na para sa pamilya? Nababaon ka na ba sa utang at nagbebenta ng mga ari-arian dahil sa pagsusugal? Kung kailangan mo ng tulong o maging ang isang mahal mo sa buhay, may mga programa ang Philippine Amusement and Gaming Corporation o Pagcor tulad ng Player Exclusion Program at iba pa. Para sa dagdag na detalye at impormasyon tungkol sa problem gambling, mag-log on sa www.pagcor.ph/regulatory/responsible.ph. Isang paalala mula sa Pagcor. Game safely, game responsibly.
Minsan sabaw na feeling. Call someone sweet and refreshing. Life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer. Oh, let's bang araw at ang feeling ay sad. We don't like that. With friends you can refresh, so enjoy lahat. We all like that.
Berries here. Make life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer. Enjoy the flavors of apple, lemon, and lychee with just the right beer buzz.
Life refreshingly sweet with San Miguel flavored beer.
Drink responsibly.
Umuurong sa pagtulong, kawang-gawa sa lahat sinusulong. PCSO, PCSO. Hindi umuurong sa pagtulong ang PCSO. PCSO. DWIZ.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882.
Alright, nagbabalik po tayong muli sa ating programang Sulong na Bayan. Pasulog na po. We will really soar high like wings on eagle because our guest for today, again, His Excellency, no less than Malaysian Ambassador to the Philippines, Abdul Malik, will tell us more how we would really collaborate and join forces to intensify awareness. Okay? The hanging question earlier was the Filipinos, us, do we need visas in your country?
No, I'm happy to say no. You do not need visas to come to Malaysia for a visit. I think that's very good news.
Okay.
So this will, I mean, for those listeners who want to visit Malaysia, please do come and visit us, Malaysia. We're going to have the Visit Malaysia 2026. Of course, you can go today or tomorrow, but in 2026 we have the Visit Malaysia here. So please come.
Visit Malaysia.
What I want to say is, Malaysia and Philippines, when you look at the traits, we are very similar, and we are all warm and loving people. And since I came to Philippines, I've actually witnessed how warm and friendly Filipinos are, and I've traveled. This is across the country, from every sector, and I want to thank them for being such loving people. And I think that's something that only Filipinos can showcase. And I think that's why, in terms of tourism and openness, I think Philippines is wonderful, and I want to return it the same way in Malaysia. So please come, share with us, and let us show you also that we are also warm and loving people. And so we since we have the same traits in common,
and very hospitable.
Yeah, very hospitable too. As the Filipinos are.
Right, in the airport, in your KL, everywhere, they like offer you a lot of other things, and they go extra mile. So
and this is for both of us, both countries, and I'm happy to say that. And when you touch another one on tourism, since we're talking about Visit Malaysia 2026, I think the area of digitalization in tourism, I think it's important to see how this has developed and pushed the industry forward. Of course, in Malaysia we have this enhanced accessibility and convenience for tourists. We have the online booking system. Then we have the personalized experiences, which uses AI and learning, machine learning, virtual assistants, and of course, mobile application is part and parcel of the tourism sector in Malaysia now. And of course, the more advanced AI gets, you can look at virtual tours, augmented reality, but these are the areas that we are looking at now. I think that the thing is important. Then you have the social media influencer marketing, the new digital payment solutions, sustainable tourism is one of the key areas that Malaysia is pushing at. Smart tourism technologies especially, which includes application to reduce overcrowding and so on and so forth. And of course, data analytics to use to make better decisions for tourists and for the industry players, and of course, predictable analytics. But I think all this, although is building blocks for the next generation of tourism practitioners, but what is most important is, I think, like I mentioned earlier, is the warm and loving nature of our population. I think that's important. That will for me is the most important.
Right.
With all the beautiful beaches and destination, the food, but the people. I think that's the key, and I think. Both our countries share the same traits, and I'm happy to say that this will be good for the nations.
What are the top priority destinations, Mr. Ambassador, in Malaysia?
In Malaysia, I must say, I must confess, I need to go back to Malaysia more. I've been traveling quite a lot.
Check it out.
Yeah, but I must say, I come from Kuala Lumpur, so of course Kuala Lumpur.
Seat of power.
You have the iconic Petronas Towers, and you have the Batu Caves and Merdeka Square, and then you have the beautiful Langkawi, for instance, the white sand beaches. Langkawi is Bridge. Penang, of course, it is another area. Georgetown is a UNESCO Heritage World Site. Malacca, of course, which my family comes from, is historic, reflecting Malaysia's rich colonial past. Of course, you have the Air Force Fortress, Stadus, and Christchurch, to name a few. And of course, you have the Borneo, the Sabah and Sarawak, where you have the Kinabalu National Park, Mount Kinabalu, and then of course Sarawak with the Mulu Caves. I think there's something that
it's fascinating, right? Now we call them the modern day heroes in our country, the overseas Filipino workers. They work their butt to really just make ends meet. How many Filipinos do we have in your country? The ones working
Well, according to data we have, it's almost 200,000. And that's quite large. Of course, once again, I mentioned earlier, they have been a strong, a strong component of the nation building. We of course we love them for what they're doing.
Them modern day heroes.
Yes, modern day heroes. That's right. And I must say that we appreciate. Of course, we are grateful for what they have been doing in Malaysia, and we continue to welcome and of course to support them. I'm happy to say one of the areas which we are working to support, or which we have done, is introduce a new product under the CIMB Bank online banking called CIMB Kababayan.
CIMB Kababayan.
Yeah, so
Let me
this-
repeat that. CIMB Kababayan.
CIMB.
Okay.
It's a Malaysian digital bank in Philippines,
What
one of
is
the
it?
biggest actually.
Okay.
It allows the OFWs all around the world to open an online banking account, a real banking account, which you can operate in Philippines. It was launched last week together with the Deputy Prime Minister of Malaysia when he was here, and of course the Secretary of OFW, Hans Dek.
Kakdak.
So Kakdak. So with this, with a few easy steps, any
It's
OFW simple.
Okay.
Any
Like
so
one.
it's all mobile
First.
and it's an actual banking account. Actual banking account. Digital banking
digital
account.
bank.
And with that account being open anywhere in the world, you can actually do your banking services in the Philippines.
Oh, okay.
And
You
this
don't
was
have to go
approved.
to Malaysia.
No, it was approved by VSP.
Okay.
The very first one. It's of course.
Can you do it like at the comfort of your home?
Yes, anywhere.
Oh, see?
You can be in Seattle. You can be in
Anywhere.
I
in the
know
world.
Bangkok. You can be in Jakarta. You can be anywhere, and the banking account actually exists here in Philippines.
Okay.
And can you do
And how do they
transaction?
approve it? Like in seconds,
It's online,
minutes?
but of course you have to bring your documents. You scan your documents, you put it in, and everything is done online. And it allows you to take up loans, to
Secure loans, and then
many all aspects of the bank will do, and it also gives you the extra flexibility of having a banking account.
Oh,
which is great, This is one of the I would say
It's easy.
the benefits you want to provide to the FW for the services all around the world. Happy to say that CMB Bank has done so. Oh, on that score, I also must mention about Maybank. They actually started the first ever halal Islamic banking unit.
Okay.
In Zamboanga. It was launched
Islamic banking unit.
in August this year. So it's the very first in
Amana
Philippines.
Bank? Is that right?
No, Amana Bank is a different bank, but under Maybank, they've opened up an Islamic window
Another
for
window
Islamic
for
financing.
Specific.
Yeah, so Islamic financing is one of the crucial elements
We should
to develop
test
halal.
them so the people would be aware what this is.
Yeah,
Islamic
so
banking
Islamic
unit.
banking, it follows the Sharia principle. So, in order for you to build a strong Islamic, halal industry, you need to have an Islamic financing facility, and Maybank is the very first in Philippines in organizing it.
Congratulations,
And
Maybank.
yes, and we
We're
hope
so
to develop more of
Do you
these
know the
branches.
big boss or the big guy of Maybank?
Of course, Patrick Solasa. He's the current CEO, and of course, Maybank Philippines has 60 branches. So we hope to also further on that.
And we were really happy that they are now very active.
Yeah.
The Maybank.
That's right. And but the good thing is with Maybank's involvement, now you have the other banks also coming in. Metro Bank, for instance. I mean, if I can mention them, BOD and the rest. BDO, for instance.
BDO.
So they also start. And it's good. So it builds a stronger foundation for the halal industry in Philippines.
Exactly.
With also local banks. I think
Welcome
that's-
everybody to come.
of course.
To join.
I mean, the pie is big. You're talking about
Yeah,
7.9
huge.
trillion by 2025,
Gosh, I'm
and it's
so-
huge. It's huge.
Right.
So everybody can get a pie. Of course, it's
overwhelmed.
important that we work together to achieve it. No? And then I think
Gosh, this
the
is
Philippine-
all
the
good
Philippines-
news.
Yeah, good
But
news.
our time is up. That's all the time we have. Give us, Mr. Ambassador, your message to our Filipino viewers and listeners in
Yeah.
like 60 seconds.
I just want to say that Philippines is a beautiful country. Thank you for your hospitality. Thank you for your warm and hospitality and love for your fellow Malaysians here in Philippines. Thank you for having us. And I want to assure you that the Malaysian Philippines will continue to work hard to further develop our countries and our nation for the well-being of our people. And I would like to again to urge everyone to let's work together for a peaceful nation and work together for the development of our country and our peoples. And once again, thank you for supporting us. Thank you for allowing us to organize the 60 years of Malaysian-Philippine relations. To all the Filipinos and our listeners who are here. And if there's anything we can support and help, please, my team is always ready to to work with you in order for you to develop this relationship. And thank you, Miss Loli, for Lola for having
most welcome.
having it here. It's been amazing. I must thank again the media. They've been also very supportive of the embassy and of course from Malaysia, and we look forward to working closely with you.
Because
Thank
you're
you.
so amiable. So
Maraming,
it's easy to talk to you. You know, there are no layers. If, you know, you just call and
Yeah.
you'll really,
Yeah.
I was amazed. You answered me right away. So I was like saying, wow, this person is really somebody.
No, because I believe the only way we get to know each other is to be
really
close, and of course
Right.
we all are humans. We have to treat each other with respect and of course love. And I think if you have those two, respect and love, you can solve any issues. And I think we need more of it in the world, especially we're grappling with such conflicts. And all. Let's not, I mean, this is something that we have to work on. But I'm sure with
Well, we're
Malaysia and
starting.
Philippines heading the way, we'll be able to.
We will start it.
Yeah. So
See,
maraming
respect.
salamat. I want to say that also.
Oh my gosh. Let's give a clap, Mr. Fred Balamala, our engineer. Hooray. For respect and love. That's the takeaway for tonight. And thank you again, His Excellency, no less than Ambassador Malik. This is not last. We will get all of your guys here, maybe the tourism minister eventually, and another staff of yours, so we can expound what you started. And we look forward to a fruitful many more 60 years ahead of our relationship.
Thank you. Thank you, listeners. Maraming salamat. Thank you.
Shukran, inshallah. Thank you sa ating
Assalamualaikum.
naging kaagapay. At syempre, Jill John, at Daniela, si Jacqueline, at si Engineer Fred Balamala, at sa aming Chairman D. Edgar Cabangon, gaya na rin po si Attorney McNeil Rante and Benji Ramos and Dennis Antonor. This has been Loli Rivera Acosta. So I always say, keep God first, inshallah, so that He will direct our path. Bye, everyone.
Si Miss Loli Acosta, Sulong na Bayan sa DWIZ 882. Ang programang ito ay inihatid sa inyo ng PAGCOR. Ang programang ito ay hatid sa inyo ng Petron. Petron knows you deserve